YouTube is messing with me and the government a little bit as well. There will be some changes to the channel as well. There is a video linked in the description if you would like more details. If you've watched it or are uninterested, which is perfectly fine, let's head into the story. Upgrade, written by Fontaigne. That is impossible. After the first mate arrived, the captain continued staring at the pirate corpses and juices thereof. Apparently not, replied the first mate. It happened. I wonder how much it cost me. She stared a bit longer. And how the hell? She waved a hand at the mess. Obviously, she knew how. But how? Call Engineer Dave. An hour earlier, the captain pressed the comlink, panting. They're much faster than me. I won't reach the bridge in time. It's okay, Captain. Open the vent to your right. I'm too small to fit in. No, you don't climb in. In fact, don't do anything but what I tell you. Open the vent. It's open. Away down the corridor, there was a clang and voices. Many voices. There's a small pad there. Enter 911, 911. It moved aside. Okay, there's a button and 3 switches. Push the button now. It flickered and lit green. The voices rose in volume, along with the sounds of doors being checked and cleared. Slowly. She had perhaps 2 minutes. Perfect. The first switch is in the on position. When the borders reach the hole outside the head, flip the first switch. When they recover and start coming again, flip the second one. And then flip the first back. Play with those 2 all you want. Engineer Dave paused. If you run out of options, flip the third. Only if you run out of options. The captain looked at the third switch dubiously. She decided not to ask. Now, she pointed at the pirate slurry. That was impossible. These are civilian grab plates. The smoothness and safety controls cannot be overridden. Engineer Dave smirked. Dirty little engineering secret. There is no such thing as a civilian grab plate. The override pins are located under less than a millimeter plug of thermal paste. I thought those were calibration plugs. Engineer Dave smiled, a bit too wide. Same thing, why? Standard design. Most of the cost of a military grab plate system is the hardening, system design, and area denial, friend or foe detection, and so on, and a separate recalibration control system. You wouldn't want a hacker to be able to do that. He waved vaguely at the messy corridor. Oh, by the way, we'll need to pick up at least 2 new plates on the next repair yard. 2. How do you know? Rule of thumb, faulty plates in this corridor, failure rate of 8% means with 5% stat dev, so there is a tiny chance we lost 4. Only I have 2 spares. Lost. Gone out of spec. Need recalibration cycle that really shouldn't be done on a moving ship. I'll have to go over this corridor and check each and every one of them, of these for their bligs. She held her breath for a moment. That's an engineer thing, isn't it? Yes, ma'am. Okay, let's recover the gear. We should net out close to even on this. Hardly. What? It's just recalibration. That gun right there, cleaned up, will cover the cost of 1 standard recalibration. All 12 weapons will handle this fine, probably. Everything else is cream. High-quality breast milk. Should I ask? No. Well, then why would it cost all 12 guns for up to only 4 recalibrations? Well, no one is going to recalibrate a plate that has an actual damage. But the plates are probably all intact. For intact plates, there are 3 kinds of recalibration. So, there's the plugs that are intact and there's the no physical damage. That's the standard charge. There's the plugs that have been removed and there is no physical damage. That's an upcharge. Engineer Dave quirked his mouth in a way the captain was unfamiliar with. Then there is one higher level. The captain held up a hand. She could see where this was going. I assume it is titled, A Human Touched Us. Yep. She considered, then looked down the corridor and off into the distance. Since you have so much work to do, I believe I'll have someone else clean this mess. Thank you, ma'am. Does Ensign Stabby have a suction attachment? She regretted the question the moment she realized she had asked it out loud. Engineer Dave's eyes were far too bright. Not yet, ma'am, she sighed. Well, they were still at a profit for the whole attack. Make it so. End of story. Story number 2. Humans Have Magic, written by averagecakeenjoyer. The humans have magic, really. Not the kind that makes things float or conjures fire from thin air. They don't read minds, bend time, or raise the dead. No, their magic lies in making the impossible probable. I first witnessed it in service of my king on the battlefield. A human squad pinned down, their ammunition spent, enemy forces closing in. By our every calculation, they were dead. But humans don't seem to care much for calculations. Their commander, bleeding, grinning, simply said, "Watch this." And somehow, they lived, battered, bruised, but alive. I watched a rookie pilot turn a stricken ship into a dance of impossible angles, weaving through plasma fire like she was born for it. When our tacticians reconstructed her maneuvers, the math declared it impossible. The ship should have torn itself apart. She just shrugged, calling it instinct. At first, I thought it was just war, just desperation, some quirk of evolution that let them cheat death every now and then. But then, I left the battlefield, and still I saw it. Humans don't just endure, they change the world around them. They see walls and find doors. I've seen them breathe fire into barren worlds, places most declared dead and gone, planets where the soil burns with toxins and distant suns cast barely enough light to form shadows. But they persist, as they always do. They sink their hands into poisoned earth, scattering seeds like whispered prayers, and impossibly, the earth listens. They tend to their fragile shoots with calloused hands and fierce resolve, coaxing life from soil that should remain lifeless. They build greenhouses from salvaged pasts, jury-rigging filtration systems that shouldn't work, but somehow do. It's in every facet of their lives. Hell, have you ever seen a human city? By every metric, they should implode under their own scale. Too many beings pressed too close together, all churning with conflicting wants and dreams. They don't build like we do, like circuits, every piece carefully placed to maintain balance and harmony. No, they build recklessly, like they're weaving dreams into reality. I've seen their cities grow like living things. In the space between towering structures, life erupts without warning or permission. A crumbling wall becomes a canvas for their art. An abandoned warehouse transforms into a place of music and dance. Even their markets seem to have a mind of their own, appearing in empty lots overnight, as if summoned by the collective wishes of the neighborhood. These should be places of chaos and conflict. Instead, they pulse with an energy I can't quite explain. Communities knit themselves together in the strangest of places, beneath elevated trains, in the shadows of ancient buildings, in forgotten spaces between the planned and proper. They create belonging out of thin air, welcoming anyone and everyone to share their culture, to be free, to be wanted. How could we resist? At first we tried. Oh, how we tried. We sent our best to study their patterns, to break down this impossibility into digestible data, to prove that it was just luck or coincidence or some quirk of their genetics. But you can't quantify magic. You can't measure the way a human smile makes you feel like you belong, even when you're light years from home. Can't explain how they inspire you, with nothing but a slap on the back and a winning grin, making you think that you could do it, that you could do the impossible. I remember watching a human merchant work with a cruisy apprentice on an engine core that was beyond saving. By all our reckoning, the damage was irreversible. But the human just kept talking, kept encouraging, kept believing. "Come on," she said, "let's try one more thing." And the cruisy, against all their ingrained caution, against that screaming voice in their head telling them to stop, tried one more thing. Then another, and another. I watched their movements become more confident with each attempt, saw them start to mirror that uniquely human stubbornness. And when the engine finally hummed to life, the look on the cruisy's face wasn't just triumph, it was revelation. That's when I started to understand, started to see the pattern in all these coincidences. It wasn't just that humans could do impossible things. It wasn't just their luck or their determination or their strange ability to bend probability. It was the way that ability seemed to leak out of them, like light spilling from a cracked door. The way others around them start to believe, to try, to succeed at things they never would have done before. They don't notice it. How could they? They're too busy living their lives, dreaming up new impossibilities to chase. But we see. Every species that works alongside humans starts to show traces of that same magic. Not as strong, not as consistent, but it's there. The humans are changing us. Slowly, subtly, they're teaching us to dream bigger, to reach further, and not through any grand plan or conscious effort. They do it just by being themselves, by refusing to accept, well, the impossible. Maybe that's the true purpose of their magic. Not to help them survive, but to help the rest of us learn how to do the impossible too. I only hope they never lose their power, their gift. The universe needs their particular brand of impossible, even if they never realize they're doing it. End of story. I would like to thank our T5 members and patrons, Casper Arnholtz, John Creighton, Vidmori, 050, Dragzoon WRE, and Elijah Silvercross. Thank you very much.